Reggae Legends in Conversation, which we are very privileged and honored to have the greatest that created, this music culture that we are so much in love with, the four corners of the earth, just me, myself, from France and Morocco, just gravitate to this great culture. I have to pinch myself to, to see and understand that these beautiful people give us their time to have a conversation about, the music, the Jamaican music history, the vintage from the vintage era through the 80s and further, because most of them are still active. And after 6 decades, which is fantastic, I can't say enough, words, how much I respect, admire these great legends. Um, we had, this is part three, Reggae Legend in Conversation part three. We had a beautiful one last time, tribute to Toots, and the privilege to have his daughter also to come and say a few words about her father. It was absolutely very moving and touching. We have two guests today, with us, in this great panel. Like I say, I have to pinch myself to know that all these greats, are with us tonight. We have Dwight Pickney, that is a great inspiration to many guitarists, and myself as a guitarist as well. Dwight has been a great inspiration, through his career. And I did a little homework to know also his history, because I don't know everything about, his journey. But I know it was something with the Sharks, and if I'm not mistaken, that the Beatles, was an inspiration to them. Dwight can correct me if something I'm
Yeah,
inventing. And
yeah, you're right.
and Zhao Pao, which is has two lead singer with the great Burst Hammond and Michael
Williams.
Williams, exactly.
Williams.
Yes, and beside, Dwight, that play with the greats, we have a little, tribute to Jubby, Bonnie Whalers and Daddy Uroy, and I know Dwight has been playing also, with Jubby for sure, probably also with Daddy Uroy. We have a gentleman here that by the name of Boris Gardner. I know a lot of viewers don't, know some of the artists, because they're just following the culture in that sense. So we just want to try to make a proper introduction. Here in Denmark, when we go to the small villages, in the pub, you will hear, I want to wake up with you. That's Mr. Boris Gardner, But like most of people that, see Boris as an artist, and with that massive hit, because you hear it, in the small pubs in a small country like Denmark. That shows, how the magnitude of the hit that it was, and it will be interesting to hear also, how it came by, But Boris is absolutely a prolific bass player, and I found out that later by the great BB Seaton, that is my mentor, and tell me these stories from them time, and from all the works in Lee Perry, the Lee Perry studio and Studio One, Treasure Isle. I know he's been, contributing to a lot of hits with his bass playing. Also as a bass player for the group, the Rhythm Aces, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of them. Could you please, Boris, with few words, just present yourself to our audience,
Well, I just like to say hi to all my fans, friends, and those who know me, Um, in the late, in the mid 80s, I did a song called I Want to Wake Up With You, which really rode its way right up to number one on the UK charts, stayed there for 3 weeks, and was in the top 10 for about 9 weeks,
wow.
right? And after it was number one all over Europe, top 10, in Australia, number one, Portugal, it was a pretty big hit for me. But thinking of where I came from, when I was 3, my uncle said to me, Boris, you came to me one day and said, Uncle Master, can I sing you a song?
Yeah.
And that's where my career started from.
Wow.
I can't remember the song, but he told me all the story about it. And I went through school. Um, those Jamaicans who would know, like Franklin Town, we say Franklin Town Government School at the time.
Yeah.
I passed through Franklin Town, and there the teachers realized that I had a wonderful voice because in those days and the young voice, like the tenors, you could sing very high, and we did classics and that sort of thing. And every Friday we had concerts, and of course I would mash it up. Yes, so my teacher told me who was Mr. Blake. He said, Boris, you have a fine voice, but you have a lisp. I said, what? A lisp tongue. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He
My
said,
daughter
well,
have that too. Yeah.
you can control it, because singers don't reach anywhere with lisp. So he taught me to pronounce my S's by closing my T.
Yeah,
S, S, and it comes out right. And with that, I practiced for weeks
yeah.
until I got it right. Um, when I reached the age of 17, playing a game of football and all that, one day after the game, I realized my heart was beating heavily still right through the evenings. I couldn't understand it wouldn't go down back to normal.
Tachycardia.
After the game, we walked home. The heart was still beating, like doing 100 beats a minute.
What?
Yeah. And I told my brother when I got home, boy, I don't understand what's happening with my heart. And we felt it. So, well, go to bed and sleep it off and see what happened tomorrow morning. Sleep through the night, woke up the next morning. The heart was still doing the 100 beats a minute.
Oh my God.
Damn. 2, 3 days passed with this going on. Well, my mother and father had divorced. My mother's living differently. I was living with my father. So I left there and went to my mother and I told her about my heart. And she said, boy, this is serious. So give me a lot of different things and try to cool me down and all that thing. Wouldn't go down. This morning, no, I went back to her. I can remember Thursday morning. And when I reached the veranda, I just collapsed.
Oh my
And
God.
the helper was there. She called me, Boris, what happened to you? What happened to you? I said, my heart. And she ran inside, called my mother. And when my mother come out, dear Lord, and they lift me up and carry me to the clinic. You remember Giltray Street, baby?
Yes, yeah.
Right. There was
I
a
remember
clinic
you were
on
at St. James's Road,
Giltray
right?
Street.
St. James's Road.
Right.
Mhm.
So they lifted me up and took me to the clinic. And when the doctor, emergency, checked me out and all that, she couldn't understand this heart. The doctor never saw anything like this before. She phoned um, Kingston Public Hospital for an ambulance, emergency. It came for me and took me to the public hospital. There, all the heart doctors came around and they couldn't understand what was happening because the first case like this they ever had.
Oh, wow.
So they admitted me and I was there giving me different medications and things. In about 3 or 4 days, it kind of calmed down. But as I got up and saw my world start jumping again. I was there for 3 weeks in public hospital.
Oh,
So the doctors came out and said, boy, Boris, there's nothing we can really do for you. You just have to change your lifestyle and take it easy. No football, no running up and down. No, you can't tell a 17-year-old that.
You're cruel. Yeah, indeed.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the end of the world.
So did you have an operation or
No, no.
amazing?
I am as time went by, it would trouble me, and occasionally, right?
Right.
Right. I didn't know really what I would be doing, even for a job or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know? So one day, Richard Ace, a guitarist, singer, pianist, came to me and said, "Well, I had a singing group and was interested in leading it."
Right.
So I said, "Well, I'll try. I'll just try because there's nothing I can really
Right.
do at the moment."
Yeah.
So four of us got together. Um, Delana Stewart, Dennis Moss, Lloyd Richards, and myself, and we started rehearsing. And we started getting a feel of harmonies, because I used to bring a little piano at home. My sisters used to take music, but I wasn't into the music.
Hmm.
But I liked the pop music, so I could find certain chords that would go along and follow the tunes. So when you find the progressions, that's how you make a song to the progression. So I went on, and the rhythm is started doing pretty well. Um, Different theater shows. Fair John's Opportunity Knock, you
Yeah.
remember? Uh-huh. Palace Theater had
Yeah.
they were two there, so
Rialto.
Real also. And we did pretty well until I decided, well, it's time to try to make a song. So I sat down. Funny, my brother was a fantastic lyric writer. And I sat at the piano one day and started playing a song. Because in these days now, when you go in school, you fall in love with one of the nicest girls, although she don't want you.
Right.
Exactly.
We young and them.
That happened to all of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Wishful thinking, right?
I sat down and I started to write a song called Angela.
I remember that song, man.
The rhythm is recorded it for Roddy Abrams. And it was released, and it got some airplay, and everybody's, so who's this group and them sort of thing. It kind of got the public interested in you. So the next one came to me now with a
I
song
got a
called,
question for you, Boris.
eh?
I got a question for you. Did you get Angela?
Boy, Angelo was maybe at my age or a year old, but she don't want me. 15-year-old don't want a 18-year-old. They're looking for big guys with motor car and them thing.
Yeah.
VW.
Right? So a young girl came to Jamaica from Trinidad to spend time next door. She and her sister. And she could have been maybe 15, because I was about 17 at that time. And every day we just look at each other and smile. We wouldn't talk.
Kind
And
of shy.
little things. And then after a while, after a week, she decided, well, boy, they're going to go back to Trinidad because she was there on vacation in Jamaica. And after the goodbyes and thing, the sweet sorrow, and she left, I started one piece of crying on the backyard, you know? And I just started to sing a tune. 1,000 teardrops
And that's where it was born, eh?
I shed over you. I said, wait. And I stopped crying. I said,
That's an idea.
that don't sound bad at all. I sing it a few times. And I went to the piano. I started bringing ding, ding, ding. 1,000 teardrops. Dung, dung. Each day I shed over you. Over you. And I sat there and worked on a song. And so it came right out to be a very good song.
But you need to give Tia some credit for that.
Of course. It
Yeah.
helped with the bridge.
I used to
man.
come and listen to you guys, you know. That's why I get to learn from you. You teach me harmonies.
Yes, remember?
Yeah.
And it was fun. Yeah.
That's
That-
one of my favorite song, you know. That's why I record it.
I heard you recorded it, Barry.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to some publishing soon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Real talk.
Anyway, that song now was we got together, the rhythm is now and worked out that thing, and it really come out nice now. And we went to Island Records, which is Chris Blackwell,
That's right.
and so we'll audition. And we audition, and it's a nice song, you know. And arrange a recording session. I think it was RJR. And we went in and but people like Dennis Sindri, guitarist from Australia.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember Dennis Sindri from the
Yeah.
Caribs,
Yeah.
Sheraton, yeah, the two white guys. Peter Stoddard, he died
Yeah.
a few years ago. Yeah. And we recorded 1,000 teardrops. And it turned out to be a wonderful song.
Great
Right.
song, man. Really great
Yeah,
song.
it's a beautiful song.
Went right up to #2 on the JBC charts for about 4 or 5 weeks. I wouldn't put it at #1.
Classic
Yeah.
song, man.
Yeah.
But that put us on the map, you know, and so we started getting some great shows, all Playboy and all them places we
Wow.
perform. Yeah. Yeah, Jackie,
Jackie Edward.
Edwards. Yeah. Where we'd go and perform at certain hotels. Right? And after that, my brother wrote a song called The Meaning of Christmas. C is for Christmas.
Yes, I remember that.
That's
Right.
the same, man. Yeah.
One of the best Christmas
Yeah.
songs.
Great song, great song, great song.
I've recorded it about 4 times through the years.
You mean
Classic.
re-record it?
Huh?
You re-record it?
Yeah, man. Many
Yeah?
times.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
did it in reggae when I Wanna Wake Up With You was a hit. We
Oh.
followed it up with that tune for the Christmas,
Oh, okay.
you know. And so Rhythm Aces did well, and time went by. The group broke up because well, the finances was pretty small in those days. You do a show and you'll get £10 for everybody. Everybody get £2.10 each, you know. And that was big money. I mean, for a
Was.
while.
Yeah.
But as time go by, you know, you couldn't
Shrink.
survive.
Start to shrink.
Well, we passed through and we folded. Everybody went their way.
Yeah.
And so I joined a band called Question and the Souvenirs.
Mhm.
Started learning to play instrument. In fact, I made my first guitar. Question brother-in-law cut out the body and I bought all the parts and put on and the guitar and it sounded pretty good, you know. I started playing my cards and everything.
Mm.
So with that, I started thinking of music itself, not only singing. And so we went through Kestin. I left Kestin. I went to Carlos Malcolm of Afro-Jamaican Rhythm, which was one of Jamaica top bands. Everybody read music, perfect musicians,
Yeah.
right? And so I one day Carlos um lost his bass player, what's his name again? Audley Williams. He migrated to Canada. And so he was looking for a bass player and could not find one. So he said to me, boy, Boris, you're going to have to go play bass, you know. I said, oh, me? You mad? In this band? No, no, we can't do it. We can't do it. So don't worry yourself, man. You're going just do one tune at a time. Right?
Good way to start.
Right. I start feeling my heart palpitate immediately. But I took home the bass and I sat down and I bought a book and started doing my thing, you know, self-taught.
Yeah.
And I learned those days it was ska days more or less.
Yeah.
So I listened to all Eastern Standard Time and them tune and play the bass, you know. And then Carlos would give me the bass and I play that tune until I start feeling nice. I say, yeah, I'm a bass player.
But
But that went on for a while and then
you can read and write, right? You can read and
I
write.
read and write.
Because I noticed with the picture that Bibi showed me over the years, I see in studio with the sheets, that's unusual, you know, like, you know, what we do.
Right.
I am self-taught
But-
myself, you know, but, you know, I was, yeah.
Boris also arrange, you know. He also arrange music
Come on, I mean,
for me.
from my first when I was at Kestin, I wrote 2 songs for Kestin. What the Memories of Flora. Flora was a hurricane
Hurricane, yeah.
in Cuba, and it was there for about 3-4 days and would not come out and tear up the place.
Yeah.
So I wrote a little song named Memories of Flora and Don't Speak to Me of Love. And those songs were recorded on an album with 4 top Jamaican bands. The Caribs, Carlos Malcolm, Byron Lee, and Kestin. And they used my 2 tunes in it, you know.
Yeah.
So that was very good for me and, you know, my
Career.
right.
Mm.
So as time went by, I started doing more composition with my brother. Started recording some songs. Well, before that, Carlos Malcolm went on and in 1967, we were in New York and Carlos wanted to stay up there. I didn't want to live in New York at all. So I said, well, I'm going to go back to Jamaica. So I went to Canada first. So Leslie Butler and we hooked up for about a month. He was playing in a club and they didn't have a bass player, so I started playing bass and singing a few songs. Then when the winter came on, I decided to return to Jamaica. He went to a hotel because he played at Roundtree, no? Hotel in Lucy every winter time. So I came back and immediately a guy was forming, opening I wouldn't say a club, but it was a restaurant club, more or less. You can have your dinner and all that, but at night you can go and have a nice little time and dance and thing. Called the Bronco in Crossroads.
I remember that.
Union
Yeah.
Street.
I'm waiting to hear about the Boris Garden happening to, you know.
That came after the Broncos.
All right.
But Boris,
Huh?
you have to remember the diamonds too, eh?
The Diamonds, yeah, man, the Diamonds.
Yeah, because
Right.
you
That
play
came,
you
that
play
came
King
when
Cup
now?
with the diamonds.
Oh,
Yeah,
it came before the
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
Because we came back from New York
yeah.
and saxophonist, what name? Brian.
Carl Bryan.
Carl
Carl
Brian.
Bryan, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wanted to form a group. So we got some music. I was playing a guitar now and playing bass
Yeah, you and
in the
Patrick.
Diamonds.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And so that diamond didn't last very long still because Carlos called us back and we went back to the Bahamas, which we
mhm,
were spent a whole year, right? So the Broncos, we started playing there. I, I formed a trio, which turned into a quartet and then a quintet with people like um, Patrick McDonald,
yeah.
Larry McDonald,
Mhm.
Tony Bennett on drums, um, Keith Sterling
Yeah.
on
Keyboard.
piano.
Mhm.
Keyboard.
And the place was rocking, I tell you. The Broncos every night it ram. So one day the owner for a hotel called Courtland Manor came to the Bronco and he has this big hotel and trying to do a thing and nobody going there. So he had a jazz band there. But people wanted more,
Dance
you
music.
know, pop music.
Yeah.
Jazz was kind of going down. So him came and him saw how Bronco was swinging and hear the band. Him said, boy, this band is sound great. Him came to me and said, boy, Boris, I want you up at the, I want you up at Courtland Manor, Just name your price. So really?
Sounds like a good deal.
Anyway, I went to him and, made arrangement. I left Bronco and went to Courtland Manor. That's the time the Fab Five came into Bronco and made their debut. So the happening now, he gave the band name now. We'll call the band the Boris Gardner Happening. That sounds fine to me.
Yep.
And we were there for 3.5 years, swinging hotel, best place in Kingston for the time.
Mhm.
Well, as usual, nothing lasts forever. Um, the hotel started fooling around, different things happening. And so we left and we went to Hotel Kingston, spent 6 months. We left there and went on the road, right? By then, no, I had made an album called It's So Nice to Be With You. Before that, I did a few singles like Oh My Commanding Wife.
Mm.
You know that one,
Yeah.
Jadin?
On serious mother-in-law.
Oh
Yeah.
my commanding wife. She wants to destroy my life. You know that song? You never heard that?
Big tune,
Come
big
on.
Yeah,
tune.
big, yeah, it's
Yeah, man, go,
classic.
go to YouTube and look it up.
Yeah.
Um, I did Bobby Socks and Stockings.
Yeah.
Groove kind of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than words can say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Big
all
tune.
these tunes. I did them for myself now, that producer and things. So well. And then I went to the Federal Recording Studio and I had a song that wanted somebody to sing. It's so nice to be with you. And that was a big hit for me.
That was a big hit song, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
Went to #1 in Jamaica and all over the Caribbean. It was a big hit. And so I made an album called It's So Nice to Be With You. So with that, I started building a name for myself all over the islands. So I went over to Byron Lee, and decided to do a song called, well, he wanted me to do this instrumental. So
Yeah.
there's an instrumental called Elizabethan Serenade.
Oh, you watching it up there?
So he said, "Can you send one of
Yeah, why?
his workers to me and ask if I
Okay.
can do it?" I said, "Yeah, I listen to it. It can reggae." So we got into the studio and I just used Jackie Jackson to play bass, and I just direct and think. Da 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 pop, da 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 da. You know that song, Hadil?
No.
Elizabethan reggae.
Elizabeth Serenade.
Okay.
If you know it.
That's
We
why
call it
we tell you,
reggae.
I'm gonna learn
It's
enough
reggae.
things tonight.
Big,
But
it was
I
a big,
think I think
it was a big
Barney
hit,
tell me
big
about
hit in England.
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It
thing
was in
went to
the
the top
charts.
15.
Mm.
It
Top
was in the
15 in
charts.
England.
Yeah, but Byron Lee claim it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
So
him name on it.
Yeah.
Byron Lee collect thousands of pounds and the man made an arrangement with me. Anything you make, man, 15% is yours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign a paper with him. But take him word for it.
Wow.
And the man collect all the royals and never gave me a penny.
Oh,
A
Terrible.
penny off of
Terrible.
a big hit.
yeah.
Terrible.
Yes, and
Yeah.
for
Barry, old time boss.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Him get some of it. I mean some of the bad um
Treatment.
works and them thing.
Uh,
But we went on and time passed and um
Let's get
Calvin
one.
Lockhart came to Jamaica and said, "Well, I have a movie I want to make." And he spoke to Eddie Knight at Bronco and said, "Boy, would I like him finance it?" So he decided to finance it. So after they started filming and all them things, so well, we're going to need a song, a few songs for the movie. So they called me and asked me if I think I can do it. They told me the name of the movie, Every Nigga is a Star. So I said, "Well, let me talk to my brother and see what we can do about it." And so my brother and myself got together and started doing a thing. I'm not sure anymore just how it happened before. The places that I knew were sunny and blue. I can feel it deep inside of this black nigger's pride. I have no fear when I say, and I say it every day. Every nigger is a star.
Big tune. Big tune.
Mm.
Yeah.
And,
That's it.
it went on and everything worked out nice in the movie and other songs and that sort of thing. And when the movie opened up at Caribbean, I tell you, first night premiere, theater ram, you couldn't even walk. Everybody sit down all in the walkway. And the movie went through. And at the end of the movie, people were so disappointed. Nothing was there showing any nigger is a star, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
There's big youth start and big youth come down like in a big coat and hey man, hey, I'm coming from New York. I'm go up in the mountains and him play with Ozzy, Count Ozzy and him some drums and smoke up them thing and thing. And then him go somewhere else and him go this. Yes, and in the long run after that, him go back to the airport, take off. Bye bye, I'm gone.
the big youth was the star.
Very disappointing, right? And the
Big
show
youth.
never showed more than once at Carib, or twice. It showed a second night. the theater might have had in 12 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boris, didn't they ban the movie?
Huh?
Did they ban the movie?
No,
They didn't ban it, eh?
but
It
I
on itself.
guess Eddie Knight wasn't interested in it anymore because he lost a lot of money in it.
Oh,
So to him, it is just a flop, right? So we had made 1,000 albums and 1,045,
mm,
and everything was sold out and wasn't repressed. So as time went by, all um the collectors started buying up from one another the album and
yeah,
I'll give you $100 for this. Later on, I'll give you $500, and that's so
yeah,
everyone thing is going up on them,
right.
you know. And so the time went by and years passed now. Well, before anything else happened with I wanna wake up with every
Every
nigga. I um I started playing at hotels around the north coast, and so I was off the recording scene for a while, just performing the band and playing for the tourists. So about 1984, 85, Willie Lindo called me and said to me, boy, the people long for hear you, about Boris. I could do a thing now. So I said, okay, what you have in mind? So we listened to a couple songs. One was well, Guilty. Let's Keep It That Way. And we listen to I Wanna Wake Up With You by what's her
Engelbert?
name again?
Peters.
Not
Peters.
Engelbert. Yeah.
No, he wrote it. Ben Peters
Ben
wrote it.
Peters.
Unpredictable.
What a guy name again?
Oh,
He just died last year. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble. What's his name?
Oh, Charlie Pride.
No, When You're Perfect in Every Way. He's a very good songwriter. Anyway, he recorded it. And when we listened it, he did it very slow and thing, bedtime-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So Willie said, make we try reggae this tune. And so I went in the studio and recorded the 3 songs. Guilty, Let's Keep It That Way, I Wanna Wake Up With You. And they were all released in that order. Nice little tune, Guilty. Jim Reeves. I've been accused, convicted, and condemned. You
Yeah,
know
that was
that's
a nice tune to hear.
Jadil?
Mm-hmm.
I am listening.
Right. And then Let's Keep It That Way. There's no need to lie. Without me half trying, I could love you. That went pretty good for me. It went into the reggae charts in England and them thing. And then came the release of I Wanna Wake Up With You. I Wanna Wake Up With You was released the wrong time in Jamaica.
Oh,
There was a craze called Siboops there. Gwanganya mouth no say Siboops there, him have a bag of money, right? Super Cat. And they had 49 boops playing on the radio every day.
ah,
And my little I wanna wake up with you.
get
Sound like
shadowed. Yeah.
that, man. You
okay.
know,
Yeah.
I say, boy, this tune is dead. It's dead. Forget it.
Amazing.
Anyway, we send it to New York and they released it up there in the ethnic charts. And so the tune started climbing up the charts until it reached number 5 at that stage. Boops was number 1 now and all that sort of thing. And It's like the people said, "Cho, enough of books now," right?
Amazing. Yeah.
And so it's fell down. It fell off the charts. And I Wanna Wake Up With You hit #1 and was there for 5 weeks, right? Now all this going on and everybody feel nice now, Get a show here and there now. Phil Matthias from England was in New York and he heard the song. So he went to Willie and said, "Boy, Willie, boy, he would have liked get the tune to release in England. Because I think it's a nice tune."
Mm.
Willie say, "Boy, Phil, Boris can't hit a England, Can't hit a England." That's what Billy thought. So Phil said, "Just give me the tune, Willie, man. Make I try a thing." Anyway, Willie said, "All right, when you go up, me send it to you." Right. So and went back to England and I'm up there waiting on Willie. Waiting and waiting. Willie won't send the master tape to him. So he called his brother in New York and said, "Send me two 12-inch copies of Boris Garden. I Wanna Wake Up With You." So his brother got them and sent it to him. He went to the master room and run them off on a tape and master the tune, right? Which sounded really better to me now. And so with that, he said no, he pressed 500 copies and sent it out to certain shops around. The important shops with computerized stores.
Mm.
And so 2 weeks pass and the people start ordering again. "Send me some more of that. I want to wake up with you. We need 25. This one wants 50." So wait, you finish already? That's it. Yeah, man, that sounds a good song, and the people really wants to get it. So he went back and he pressed 1,000. Same thing gone out. In less than 2 weeks, 1,000 sell off. With this now, he said, "Why this thing bigger than him? He can't handle this." So he went to Creole Music, which is a company that pushes reggae at that time. They release a lot of reggae. Bruce White was the owner's name.
In London.
Huh?
In London.
Yeah, I was signed to the same
London,
company.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he told Bruce Light, we went to Bruce Light and Bruce Light was on vacation. He said, "No, man, find Bruce no. You have to talk to him because this cannot wait." So they got him in France on the beach. Hello. So Phil told him the position, how this tune is really moving and need him to be here now to do some advertisement and push the tune. Because it's not going to wait. So he packed up the vacation, came back, and then they started to, do their thing. And the tune came into the chart, the 200 charts, like 190, and started moving up the charts till it almost reached now 150. Sorry, not on 50 itself, where you can get your song now played on top of the pops, and that you can make a video and get it played. So when it reached into the 50s, they contact Willie and tell Willie what is happening. All this time, I in Jamaica don't know what is happening up there now. Willie in New York and I'm in Jamaica, right? So one day, Willie came down to Jamaica now and came to my home. So, boy, Boris, I don't know, boy. I always make some big decision, which is not turning out at all for me, Some offer, I always offer the artist 50%. We want some music. We do it and we split everything 50-50, right? And I'm saying, like, with all this now, I can't make back my money, So, boy, I don't know what you can do for me. Because my 50% no want some of mine. You understand me? So, boy, what you can do? So I sit down and I said, boy, me and my look a soft self now. I said, all right, I'll take 40% and give you 60 then. I don't know nothing that is happening yet in England, when I make all them arrangements, I'll take 40. You take the 60 then. So all right, I could have signed up some papers.
Oh, right.
Business.
Ay, ay, ay.
While signing and thing,
That was the wrong
him
move.
say like, well, wake up not doing too bad in the UK and England,
That's the first time you heard.
Yes. I said, really? Okay. I guess Phil, or just from Phil used to contact him. I said, boy, we sell 2,000 today. Yes, remember this part. And go on. And we sell 4,000. Okay, I saw the record I'm selling, per day. Right? So when Phil Will don't con me and thing and we sign and but well boy, the record is not doing badly, going up the charts and all that. So we might have to go to England. Right? Cause them need a video, right? So well I was still happy. I said, really, boy, anytime you're ready. So I made the arrangement. I went up and we went down. And the first day we went down, the following day we made this video. Video took 1 day to make. I wanna wake up with you. I don't know if you ever see that, Jadil.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I view it again, I
And
saw
I-
it many
and I-
times. I view it again yesterday, yeah, man.
Right. And so with that, it was done. The following week, it went into the top 50 and I was on top of the pops. Nice, young, big up front thing. Wow, this guy look nice. And I hit I Wanna Wake Up With You. And the tune drum from in the 50s to 25.
Yeah.
Following week it jumped from 25 to 11. And then it went to 9, 5, 2, 1.
Wow.
Spent 3 weeks at number 1 and came down back the same way.
Yeah. And the UK,
Right.
the chart are very tough, as I know, and if I'm not mistaken, Bibi tell me that in all of we, he say Barry have the most, tunes that was in the top chart in England, and that's impressive because it's a very rough market, and having a number 1 in UK, it's
Really?
not easy.
That's true.
It's not
Right.
easy.
That is so true. Well, I did a follow-up which went to number 11.
Or that, which is great.
You Are Everything to Me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
A nice little song. So, with all that went through, I started traveling all around Europe. I went to Norway, Holland,
Did you do
France.
the festivals
Uh,
like Summer Jam and Rotterdam? You know, all the big festivals in Europe, you know, like Summer Jam in Germany
yeah.
and
Well,
Rotterdam.
all this was in the winter time, and I really didn't.
Okay, all right.
I went to promote. I promoted,
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes, yes.
smaller things on radio and TV and them sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But as time went by, I returned home, and I've been doing my thing here and there, doing another couple of songs, albums, and that sort of thing. You know, this is where I am. Then a couple years ago, Kendrick Lamar contacted me. He wanted to use sample every nigga that start his album.
Amazing.
So he just sample every nigga is a star, every nigga is a star, every nigga about 6 times.
Right, right, right.
Well, now that you and I and every nigga is a star. Hit me and I'm going them thing.
You must have get, you know, a good flat fee for that. 'Cause Kendrick
I
Lamar
did.
from
I did.
12 to 15, he was on the you know, touring, you know, in all the major festivals around the world, you know. Yeah,
That
yeah.
album sell
Amazing.
millions, man.
Wow. Yeah.
And then there came this guy who was doing this movie here, Moonlight,
Mhm.
and he wanted a song in Moonlight also.
All right.
So he used it in Moonlight. Although they made an album that I guess the album didn't really sell that much.
Right.
But
Right.
it's in the movie and all that, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right.
We spoke about Bibi because I really don't know Bibi since '05, you know, and worked together. And he was telling me about the writing. Well, even though I know it, but believe in me, you know, if people understand, you know, with the publishing and the writing, how much is important, you know, because you never know
Right.
when it
Exactly.
manifests. And we spoke earlier also that, you know, in 2013, we went in New York to do a collaboration with Miss Lauren Hill based on Bibi's writing, you know, and we had that, you know, opportunity to go and record a song. She wanted to redo We Walk the Proud Land, which is a beautiful song, you know.
Okay.
So the songwriting is something that I respect very much highly, you know.
Right.
Gentlemen, can I ask a question?
Yeah, yes, Dennis, please step
You
up.
can ask two Dennis.
Yeah, very fantastic story, man. You're one of my heroes, you know that. 'Cause the first time you leave Jamaica, you will leave with a guy, you know, you remember?
Yeah. I never forget that tour.
1991. All right. And the first
I
time,
never forgot that tour.
for
Yeah, man.
loads of different reasons. Yeah,
Huh?
for loads of different reasons. You can't forget it. No.
No, really.
And that was my first trip out of Jamaica too, so I will never forget that.
Yes, yes.
The first time I saw you really know was Queen's Theatre with you and Morris Winter singing.
Oh, yes. Queens.
Yeah,
That
Queen-
was a kiss and the souvenirs.
yes.
Yeah, man. We used to perform there regularly.
Yeah, man, that's where I saw you first. You and Morris Winter was the lead singer with Christian at the time.
All right.
Yeah, Jadil,
Yes, my brother.
how long we're gonna go on?
Yeah, we just have 90 minutes, but you know, Boris' story is so passionate. You know, I can hear him
Fantastic.
for 2-3 days straight.
Fantastic story. But we need to get in some other things. You know, that's why I'm saying, you know.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
Yeah,
for
man,
real.
let's big up yourself, man. The great story. Great, very great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell
Yeah,
a whole people,
Thank you.
a whole for the baseline, them for the rockstar, the tune was you playing.
I didn't even talk about the bass.
I know you have a lot of story, man.
Exactly. You know, but we'll come back to it. You know,
Part four, Jadil.
to discuss exactly. You know, we just want to bring, you know, brother, you know, Dwight, you know, here as is new also in the series, you know, to come, you know, and tell us certain things, you know.
Exactly. Because we don't want the time run out.
Exactly. You know, the Sharks and, you know, and Woods Radix, of course. You know, I've been, you know, trying, you know, to do some research about, you know, your background, and I've been very lucky to see you around the world, you know, in different stages, you know, to play with the Israel Vibration and so forth. And it's a really great inspiration for myself personally. Could you just please, you know, let us.
Yeah, I'll cut it short so that, we can
Yeah.
get through the stuff.
Yes,
Because it's a long story.
me know, me
Yes,
know,
yes,
me know.
yes. Mm.
But basically, in a nutshell, I started music in the 60s, right? Baby was in that era too,
Yes, yes.
like the early 60s. And professionally, you can say my first studio recording kicked off with a bang because I had a band called the Sharks. I formed a band called the Sharks. At the onset, we were basically a singing group because in those days you had a lot of singing groups. Paragons, Jamaicans, everybody was a
The Beatles.
well, I didn't ready to teach foreign it, but Big was a great inspiration to my singing group.
Right.
The food they kind of influenced us because we wanted to be the Jamaican version of the Beatles, who was making waves around the world, and we were aiming international from even the early days. So we expanded our singing group, which consisted of four of us, myself, Lloyd Robinson, not the singer, the drummer, and Alfred Crosley, bass player. He's in Canada, and Danny McFarlane. Danny McFarlane was a keyboard player. At that time, he used to play like melodica of a keyboard because we came from a very dirt poor background. So we had to make all our instruments.
That's right.
At the onset to get into the category of being instrumentalists and also vocalists. As people know, our first sessions was at one, and we really kicked off with a bang because Mr. Dad just auditioned us, and then he was sending in the artists, the studio, them into the studio because at that specific point, I think he had differences with the scatterlights.
Right.
They weren't providing the background for that, backing for the
It was
artists.
like the big bands, the big orchestras,
Yeah. So we were just a little four-piece. That fresh sound. One of the first songs we did was Put It On.
Wailers.
Yeah, that was with just Bob and Peter and Bonnie.
Oh,
You're
right.
Bonnie go way back, even before that, before I knew he was into music and before he knew I was into music, But that's the story, as I said. So we just cut it to the chase. So we did a set of recordings at Coxon, which included songs like Lady with the Red Dress by the Gaylords. Did that testament was Ken Booth first #1 song, You're No Good. And we did maybe about 8 songs recording.
Right.
There and we were whipped off to the Bahamas by a hotel manager who had come looking for a band, a house band for his hotel in the Bahamas. And that's where, I intercepted with Boris. Boris was Carlos Malcolm. And that,
Was it Freeport?
yeah, Freeport.
Yeah.
Trevor Lopez and them guys. And when we vacation from Freeport, Lucas Villas, and came back to Jamaica about maybe 6 months after, all those songs that we had played at Coxon were the dominant songs on the radio station jukebox sound system.
Wow.
Titan, Lady with the Red Dress, one behind the other.
You should never do that.
It
Your
should never-
eyes, All
Tell
them
them-
things in tune with the band.
Right.
You know?
Can't tell you. It's like that first sound, although some of those instruments we actually made them, at least most of them apart from maybe the piano, which was in studio. We make all the guitar and all them stuff, but we had a natural talent, so to speak. Anyway, moving forward, we went back to the Bahamas, and after about a year and 6 months over there, we came back to Jamaica as the Sharks, and then we formed Dismantled, right? Is in the band, and we were on the North Coast, as Boris was, and from the North Coast, after we dismantled, I was called by Winston Turner, who used to play with Boris in Carlos Malcolm band. He was playing a gig at the Hilton Hotel, and he called me and invited me to come and play guitar there. So that's where I met with one Michael Williams. He was playing the bass there, and we formed a band, decided to form a band following it, the expiration of our gig there. And the band was called Zappo. And we came to Kingston and incorporated some more people like David Madden, Glenda Costa in this band called Zappo. And we was straight to the top of the popularity in Jamaica. At one point, we were earning more than Byron Lee, Barry Biggs band. we got a gig at Hellfire Club in Montego Bay. We were earning more as we got to understand than what Byron Lee, because we were in demand. So following that gig, we came back to Kingston, did some recording, did songs like Mystic Mood, which was legendary. Or did songs like
It's not a reggae song though, Mystic Mood.
say that again?
It's not a reggae song.
No.
No, is it go different? Yeah. And I know.
It's come like, you know, we just did, were different.
Don't
But-
sound Jamaican, you know.
Right.
Everybody it was like an anthem.
Yeah, everybody thought it was a foreign group.
Yeah, I thought it was a
All
fun.
the radio station. All the radio stations, they used to think they were recording, because we produced it ourselves. They thought it was a foreign group.
Sounded really good, man.
Yeah, man. And then at one point, even Booker T and then did a cover version of that song. And they called it Sugar Cane. They changed it. So Zappo went on to the top, toured the Caribbean, Mexico, States, you know, and we fantastically, fascinatingly, we had at one point we had Bonnie Ruggs as a vocalist. At one point we had Jacob Miller as a vocalist. You know, some serious history. Yeah, man. So, and the final vocalist that we had was lead vocalist was Barry Hammond. And we actually toured Canada with Barry's.
Yeah, but you leave out certain country, but he leaving out Michael Williams.
No, Michael Williams.
This is reggae music. That was a big hit for you
we're not
guys.
leaving out. We never finished yet.
All right.
I try to rush it. Thank you,
Right,
baby.
right. No,
Yeah.
man.
I try to rush it because I don't
man.
want to spend too much time. 'Cause I might have to reschedule and come back another time on the
Exactly.
Well,
And
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's such a long story.
Mhm.
But personally, just to cap it off, I have done work for myself. Songs that Nenge Nenge,
Yeah.
like on the number one in Jamaica chart for about it was on the charts total for 9 months
Wow.
on the charts. And it was that number one for, I think it was 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks on both stations. So that it was, you know, and that was
Massive hit. Massive hit. Yeah.
a song as Brother D.
Hmm.
If you check it, see it on Brother D. That's what. Even then, our good friend here, Barry Biggs, produced me. He took me to Dynamic Sound, and we did a song there called Three Scores and Ten. Remember that, Barry?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Big song, you know, that song that big, you know, but I never get promotion, you know, it's a great song.
Yeah.
So, following the Zappo and dismantling of Zappo, I went back to formalize my musical craft. I had it naturally, but it wasn't formal, you know. I went to school of music and fine-tuned my reading and writing and arranging, you know, under Melba Liston, who was a import from the US jazz scene, Pete Ashburn and Camille Lewis. So we went and did a course in Afro-American Caribbean music. So that's the course I did at School of Music. And after leaving School of Music, I joined the Roots Radix Band.
When was that?
That was in like 1981.
All right.
And then what happened is they needed a guitarist because they had done a tour to England, and Sowell, who was the guitarist then, the lead guitarist, did not come back to Jamaica with them.
Okay.
And we kept meeting up in the studios, like sessions, like a producer would call them, and because you know I play guitar, they call me, and we kept interacting in the studio. So they said, me as well, I just join the band, you know. So I joined the Roots Radix band and eventually started to lead the band because my, you know, advanced musical and administrative skills.
Right.
But during that time now, you asked me about, Adele asked me about rock and, no, not Adele. Some staff member asked me about the album Rock and Groove with Bonnie Wheeler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling them that, yes, I played it. He was asking me if I played on that album. So I told him, yes, I played with Roots Radix on the Rock and Groove album. The first big song that Bonnie Wheeler himself made, a song called Cool Runnings. You know that?
Right. Definitely is a
Yeah, that.
Yeah, man, it's a big song.
Yeah, man, he had come to the Radix, invited us in the studio to do the session, and that was the first song that we did, and I played the lead guitar. But just before the session, Bonnie Wheeler said to me, I know we're going to get to Bonnie Wheeler, but he said to me, you know, say, if you never did go away from Donga Cox, uno would have be the Wheelers band. That the Sharks he was talking about.
Yeah.
I say, well, so things work out, but guess what? I think, I'm hoping that same impact that this connection did make in the 60s, we did put it on, that the Sharks band had recorded it with you and Peter and Bonnie. I hope that this session will be just a similar experience, and exactly how it worked out, you know, the impact was immense. Yeah.
Quick question: who came up with that name Zappo? Where did it come from?
Zappo was Mikey Williams.
Yeah.
He both of us was like room neighbors, not roommate, room neighbors when we were playing with Winston Turner. And every day, the animal was close because we knew each other from Kingston. every day he would come with his little drawing and his little, he's very, very intuitive and creative, you know. So come and say, who formed this band, man, and call it Zappo, Impact, Zappo, you know. So he was a man that
Yeah.
named Zappo. And
That's why they call him Mikey. Oh,
Zap-
Mikey
yeah,
Zappo. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mikey Zappo. Well, Reverend Mikey Zappo. That's what
True.
they finally get to call him. But he was very foresight.
Visionary. Yeah.
Yeah, he could really.
Yeah.
'Cause even a magazine called Reggae Report.
Mhm.
I want to tell you, even the idea of Sunsplash, you know, Mikey had that concept
All right.
from the early days way before Sunsplash started, you know, to have, he used to call it one pack. Although that didn't come to fruition, but that was the concept, you know, forward thinking that he was thinking. And,
Right.
you know, the magazine which was called Reggae Report, it was his concept, you know, yeah.
Daniel.
Very, very, one of the first.
Right, Panther.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yes.
Oh, he's here. All right, yeah.
Come on, I'm still here. I'm soaking it in.
Eh? Yeah, just to run through it fast for you. So, back to me, you know, we're going to come around to Bonavita. I think you say we're going to have a little discussion.
Yeah, you know what I would love to do to transit it, you know, the right way, you know, if you know, just, you know, go on and you know, just finish the thing, because if I did my research right, you and Bonnie know each other, and you didn't know that you were in the music
Right.
until you met in the studio one time.
Exactly.
Is that correct? Right. Yeah.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct.
So just, you know, tell me about, because, you know, me personally, if you can take a transit, so we can do a pay tribute, you know, to you know, to Jabi, and go after to important, you know, to Daddy Uri, because we're so fortunate to have Dennis with us, because, you know, these people are the pioneer and the originator of the rap music and everything, you know.
Yeah.
We just, you know, as our viewer are expecting us to speak a little bit about them as well, you know. So please,
Yes.
you know,
Well,
go ahead.
well, just to run off my little segment about me is that
Yes.
from a musician perspective, I am more, well, you'd call more popular from a musician's perspective than an artist, really, because like a backing, a supporting musician.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with almost all the pioneering artists come right up the line up to presently. And I've toured with Bonnie Wheeler, Gregory Isaacs, as you know. Root Radix was Gregory Isaacs.
Backing everybody. Yeah.
You know, so at one point, Roots Radix was a band of choice for recording in Jamaica, because like everything we touched on, you know, turned out to be very successful for the artists. The artists used to flock us, you know. Even from Yellow Man, you name it, any artist, Master.
Yes. You know, the rubber
But
ducky.
yeah, presently, presently, just before the COVID took over, I was functionally touring with the main artists we were touring with was Israel Vibration.
A lot. Yeah. You're not aware of it, but I work with two drummer, and one of them, Jason, come and fill in with you. If you, exactly. Jason is one of my drummers, you know.
Yeah, that's very good drummer.
Maybe trouble him too much in 2012. Give him some hard time, but yeah, he's a good drummer though, you know. So,
yeah, very good drummer.
Him and Flabba, because it's not easy to play with Flabba and Horsemount, you know. them have a
Yeah.
little funny thing, you know. So, yeah.
Very good, drummer. Yeah, so that's basically the overview of what I've been through and where I am at now, you know. Most of the time spent now is really in my studio, my home studio, you know. Like since the COVID especially, you know, friends and fans and admirers send the work to me. I put on a guitar and send it back to them. Even recently, Lady
Yeah,
gone.
man. Yeah, man, there.
It's so the thing work out, Lady.
I will tell you after here.
Hey, that sound like it no work out good then. That sound like it no work out good then, Lady.
No, man, don't worry about it, man. We tell you.
If it have to be half the year, that means respect still, respect still.
The file expire, man. It expire by when we're ready for use it.
Oh, then I should have just send back, resend it. If it-
The engineer is supposed to link you up and never do it. The engineer fault though.
Oh,
Anyway.
all right.
Adil,
Yeah, man. So Adil, back to your program now. 'cause-
we have about what 13 minutes.
13.
Yeah, no, but you know, this is like, but we can, you know, extend it, you know, so that's not a problem, you know. We just try to keep it in time.
No, I didn't
But-
eat. I didn't have my dinner yet, you know. So 13 minutes is my time, right?
Right, right,
Okay.
right.
Maybe start getting hungry now, right?
Yeah. The
Then
sugar.
then it should go, you know, because
Yeah.
you know, then it's going to toast you rye and stuff.
Right. So probably, you know, so what I would suggest, Bibi, you know, if you want to keep, you know, the timing, you know, so we'll just, you know, try to mention, you know, some of the artists that, you know, and producers and musicians that, you know, have been left us, you know, over the years, because many of them I didn't know myself, you know, from the list that you send us. So hold on, I can try, you know, to bring it forward.
That is
Um,
a program like this. You need about 4 hours, man.
yeah.
Exactly.
I did. I think maybe we have to leave that list for this trip, right?
Yes.
And it was nice for us to have 2 new members of the
Exactly.
group. You know, getting people to know them. When I
Yeah.
say know them, you know, people who are listening to this,
Yeah.
certain things they didn't know. You know, just like myself or Adil.
History, yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
good. And then we can, you know, the next month, because it's every month we have this
Exactly. This
Conversation.
is a series, because there are few things, you know, because, you know, let's keep the list and going in depth with that, because that
Yeah.
makes sense what Bibi says, you know. And what I would suggest, you know, because I would love that Denise tell us a little bit about, you know, Daddy Uroy and that style and everything, you know, before,
Yes.
because it's important for our viewers. We promise them that, you know, and
Well,
and,
let's do that.
and you know, the objective of this, because, you know, there is a main board, you know, that we're going to touch base, you know, with UNESCO and with the cultural board in both in UK, in Denmark, and in Jamaica, because we have certain things in the pipeline. We need to establish, you know, a foundation for those that been working, you know, behind the scene and never get anything, you know, in term of, you know, some probably, you know, died millionaire, but some died, you know, broke. And, you know, and, you know, if there is anything that can be helped, this is one of the main initiative. We are in the start phase, but believe in me, you know, have a lot of, you know, pathos, you know, a lot of, motivations to try to get, you know, also a foundation to establish a museum, and also, you know, to get funds to help artists in the COVID, because the COVID is the next thing where everybody is and the culture generally are hurt very bad, because, you know, for some, if they don't tour, you know, there is no bread on the table. And it seems
Right.
like even here in Europe, where we got a lot of, you know, packages, you know, help and everything, it never worked the way we were counting on, you know. Some, you know, had tours and never had the contracts and never get any payment. So so the culture is suffering into that, and we're trying to see how we can take initiation and see, if there is any way where we can raise funds for musicians and artists, that are also in the veteran, that are still active and are suffering same way as also the youths them, but we have to think about this segment because this platform is for the vintage era. It's your platform, and we will form it and develop it the way that we think can monetize and help us highlight matters and initiatives, and that's what we're trying to do with our NGO, our organization.
Yeah.
Is anyone watching this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's live, Dennis.
Yes,
Mhm.
Dennis.
Yeah.
So Dennis, this is, we stream every series of Reggaelegends in Conversation. This is part 3. It's streaming, and when it's end streaming, it's there. People can watch it. I can tell you the last one after 24 days, it was watched around 2,500 times. So people are watching it from around the world. And we advertise it so people can have a chance to see it live and after. And this is also an archive that we'll present to Broadcasting Network, because I think we're having a great, as far as I'm concerned, people can correct me or just claim Reggaelegends in Conversation. It's something that we started, so it's your thing, basically, and we have to utilize it for whatever, and reach out to a Broadcasting Network and so forth, because honestly, I don't have to be the host, every time, because the concept and the platform to do certain, a mission that I see is important, and there is a demand is more important than anything. So that's what we're trying to build up a content that can be monetized, sort of speaking, because what we're offering here, of course, it's a very it's a very pleasant, because I learn a lot of things and everything, but it's a content that has to be monetized, because this is knowledge, and knowledge is power and has a value. So that's what
Right.
because you've been there. I just read books and everything, and maybe I was even trying to do a little homework to see about the bio and everything, and baby correct me all the while, say no, you say how Boris is not born in that that year, that makes sense and everything, because if I don't get it from the people who knows, so I will just bring a story that is not completely accurate. And we're here to have this archive and a platform that the vintage era can also bring forth to different purposes, so
Like they say, hear it from the horse's mouth.
exactly.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dennis, please, as the time is say, the Daddy Uri, it's a great legend and a very humble brethren that I was fortunate to meet, over the years on the road, and so humble, and the DJ culture was something that was going, sideline with the whole industry and take it place, and the respect all the way up, because unfortunately it's the American and the rap, that recognize that that expression, before it get a big recognition worldwide. So it's a great icon, that we lost. Did you work with him often, or would you just met with him randomly with Daddy Uri?
Well, I did 2 shows with him here in London, just first time about 8 years ago, right? We did 2 shows, the one in London and one in Birmingham, right? All these years that we've been recording, it's first time that we was on the same stage together. He's my inspiration. He's my inspiration. He actually made this DJ genre. You understand? And that's something that no one can take from him.
That's right.
That man is so, as I say, he's my hero. He's so great. The way how he does his thing.
Mhm.
Because before him, you saw people like King Stitch, Sir Lord Comic, Cuttings,
Machuki.
Machuki, yeah.
Mhm.
and all those DJs, but their thing was different. Their thing was more or less introducing the record, advertising for the next dance, and they'll do the little and
Right.
Yeah.
you understand? But when Uri came in, he actually he found a whole record by himself. His delivery, his timing was excellent. You know, if you listen to songs like Wear You to the Ball, This Station Rule the Nation,
Mhm.
right? And all those songs. Wake the Town and Tell the People.
True.
You know, believe you me, Randis didn't have hand to sell those records.
Mhm.
Mr. Reed couldn't press them. You understand? Because the whole Jamaica was a walk in one man, as he says, wake the town and tell the people. A new era, a new
Yeah.
sound. And that was Daddy Uri. You understand? But he was playing King Tubby's at the time. I was playing a song. So we were doing our own thing on the sound system. You know, and we didn't know that it was gonna jump from the dancehall to records. Right? You had this producer named Keith Hudson. Keith Hudson is the first one that took Uri into the studio. Keith Hudson was the first one who took me in the studio. Keith Hudson was the first one who gave Big Youth his biggest hit, X90 Skank. You know, so
I didn't know. No.
yeah, the whole of this era, right?
Yeah.
It started right there in late 60s, that it reached to the United States of America,
Right. Right.
you know, in a rap form. The only differences was the lyrics, the different music, and the accent,
Right.
you know, but it's the same thing that we were doing.
Yeah. They say in the modern world they say the swag.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, but yeah. But
And, 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 and Ura was the first and only DJ to have number 1, 2, and 3 on the
Correct.
chart at one time.
wow.
One time.
Yes, that's why the music was selling so much.
Yeah.
Randy's the spot liquor finger.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm telling you, because you know those was the days when record was really selling.
Oh yeah.
You know, after a while it becomes a joke where sales is concerned. But in that era, trust me, record was selling, and Uri come and change the whole thing.
Right.
And you didn't have to call him musician anymore because the tracks were already laid.
Yeah.
You understand? And some of those rocksteady music were kind of dying down, and Uri come and wake them up again.
Yeah.
I remember the Paragon set. Yeah,
Paragons and Melodians and
yeah.
you name them. You know what I mean? So Uri, he made this place in history. A great spot. A man like that should.
Yeah, man. May his soul rest in peace, you know?
Yes, for real.
Yes.
May I ask you one question, Dennis? Because you know, specifically in the generation, like, well, Uri, the originator, yourself, you Brown, who else, you know, was there? You know,
Roy came up.
Roy, you know, Big Youth.
Mhm.
What was there any competition? Of course, you know, Jamaica is a place where competition, you know, is there. I know for sure, you know. But was it any in the rivalry? You know, could you feel some hostile vibes, or it was, you know, it was accepted that you know you were there and trying, you know, to be the best at your game?
Well, to be honest with you, when I came on the scene, I did my first record 1970, right? And I got DJ of the year 71 and 72.
All right.
By Swing Magazine. Uri and Roy Shirley had left for England. Right? So I was ruling the roost at that time. And Big Youth came 1972. Right? That's when he made his first record. Then you have people now in between. Like you have Ira, you have Prince Jasper, you have Dillinger, you have Trinity.
Right.
A lot of different DJs was in the mix at the time. Right? But me and Uri was the dominant one from say 70 to 72. Right, because I left and come to England 1973.
Yeah.
So the way was clear, the road was clear for everyone else. You understand? And I didn't actually go back down and doing the work. I stayed in England. I've been in England now for 50 odd years.
Right.
You know, so, but as we say, Uri is a king.
Oh yeah.
Can't take away from him. Rest in forever peace, you know?
Yeah, man. You know, may he rest, you know, because is my impression, and everybody said that, you know, because he was so humble. Humble.
As you talk about competition, when he came to England, Bonnie Lee, that troublemaker, right?
Yeah, ask Bibi about it.
Yeah, get him to do a song that my name is not Al Capone, but I can tip up them toe and crack them bone. But when that song came out, I didn't follow it up, you know, because I have so much respect for you, right? That I didn't, but I curse him. I curse him in some little technical way, but not direct.
Yeah. Just still respect. Yeah.
Like I say, you said you're the best, but when I'm around, you're the second best. And if you don't, all you gotta do is try I. You know, so we fling our little words, but
Yeah,
nothing serious like what Dirk Morgan and Prince Buster.
Yeah. You know, Dennis, you and you right could plan something like that, you know, back
Yeah.
and forth. You and him could have planned something like Prince Buster and Derek.
Yeah, we could have, but we didn't take it on. That's what Bonnie was trying to do, to put us at war.
yeah. Because there is business into it, you know.
Oh yeah, good business, good business. Yeah.
I debate anyway. You know, so I just do my one thing and he did his one thing, you know. So that was it really. But we are proud to say that we start this whole rapping thing in Jamaica.
Yep.
You know, they don't want to give us the credit that we deserve, but we know what is what.
I remember your famous album, Dennis, with the cannon. I'll never forget that album, man.
Yeah, you actually contributed to the rap in America as well.
Yeah.
What, baby?
You contributed to the rap in America as well. That
Exactly.
is what influenced them to start doing rap.
Foundation.
Yeah,
The foundation.
that's right.
Our foundation and built from.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Curtis Blow and
Mhm.
Curtis Blow and Rapper's Delight.
Huh?
Rapper's Delight and Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two first Americans, I think.
Well, when you check it out, you know, the whole of us right here now, right here at this time, we contributed to a lot of world music, you know, because people love our music.
That's right.
All across the globe, they gravitate to it. So,
Yeah.
you understand?
Everywhere.
You think we have enough? We think we have plenty sound system in Jamaica. You want Brazil, all over the place.
Yeah.
The man have more sound system than us. You understand? They have more cabin in Europe than in Jamaica. You know, so for our little island, we done ourselves proud. We don't win.
Oh yeah.
I tell you something that's surprising to me. I was listening and I saw them on YouTube, I believe, as Caban in China.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Surprised me.
Yeah, a lot of scabbard in China, man.
Yeah.
And in Japan.
Yeah.
And I can understand, but China?
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's taking on over there now to you.
Adele, I'm
Yes.
going to have to say goodbye to you guys right now, right?
No problem, Bibi. Just 2 minutes. You know, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
About.
Okay.
I just would love to have a last word if anybody want to bring, you know, something about, you know, Jabi, because, you know, we see how he end up, you know, and it was a lot of, you know, dispute, you know, with the management and everything, and his wife left. You know, it was very sad to see, you know, that a dispute is on, and we know it's a part of life. But Bonnie was the last whaler that stayed so long after Peter and Bob, you know, left, you know, and he was active for so many years. Is anybody, for instance, Dwight, were you playing with him where he went, you know, to play in St. Croix, and he never made it because he was afraid of flying?
No, I was on a different tour at that time.
Okay, because, you know, shortly, you know, it was something I get from Morris, God bless his soul, if I need to mention, you know, from the Gay Lads. He was there with them, he said, and Bonnie was very pretty much afraid to fly. So there were some turbulences, you know, and
I heard about it. Yeah,
they land in Puerto Rico, but the band, you know, gets the next flight. Everybody went to St. Croix, and he stayed.
And he stayed. Yeah,
he stayed. And after that, he said, "No, I'm not going anywhere," and everything. And the promoter was begging his life for them to perform. But Jabi never go to rehearsal. So the Sams, you know, like Morris and Dexter and everything, they went and they sing, you know, instead of him. They made the concert, and they get pissed off and they got fired about them time.
I had a whole band.
Yeah. But you know, it's just that, you know. But you know, it's we're gonna do some series. You know, I'm gonna announce, you know, the coming dates, and we'll be better to, you know, to structure this thing, so to
Yeah.
get, you know, the essence and get the 19 minutes, you know, to talk and everything. I would love, you know, to you know, to say thanks, you know, my gratitude, you know, to each and everyone for your time. This is
Yeah, you're welcome.
really, you know, well appreciated, you know, very much, you know, indeed.
Yeah, man.
And even
A
those
pleasure.
that didn't say much, you know, Bibi and Barry and Lloydie and so forth, you know, but it's the thing, we're trying to build something that, you know, can really do a difference, you know, for you know, for the vintage era, you know. So that's what it is, you know.
And I've heard stories that I've never heard before.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see, we learn. Well, me, I can tell you, I had to be
Taught him
silent.
everything.
Yeah, I had to be silent when Boris say many things, because, you know, was so many, and I'm very grateful for that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I learned something this evening.
Tell me.
That's
That
half the
baby, that baby have a certain time of meet, so I have to leave.
No, I want to tell you, it's actually later than remember I live in England, you know, right?
Hey, baby,
And-
listen.
But that's
You
a
dinner.
joke, baby. That's a joke on you.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Well, I'm still joking too, but I'm a hungry joker.
Yeah.
Hey, baby,
Hey,
a hungry man is an angry man,
Ah,
right?
good one, that baby. Good one. Good
Exactly.
one.
I have a cat here right now that's balling every time I'm on the phone. She's balling for food.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
I mean, even you know, it was good that Boris and Dwight set up the thing on this thing. We talked to you already, Barry, and we talked
Yeah,
to
man.
you know, everybody already. So that was
Yeah.
good, really good, and I'm sure people appreciate it. And I know that next month it's gonna be even better.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
man.
I
Yeah,
am
man.
going to do as the
Yeah.
as the other series. We're gonna put in the bottom. You know, I will get, you know, your main SoMe platform, social media platform, and you know, where people can reach out to you. You know, and we tried that last time, but we're gonna be better at, you know, trying to put a PayPal account so people can contribute. You know, because they are, you know, music lover and fans and everything that do that, you know, with the artists, even in the pop world and everything. So why not these greats we have here, you know? So
That's
And
right.
maybe we can sing a song each to or do something.
Mhm.
yeah,
That would be good, you know?
yes. So basically, this platform is for the same thing, you know, Barry.
Yeah.
Because anything is possible, you know, and we have the resources. We have an organization with, you know, all what we need, and we're pretty much respected. And you guys make a difference because you are the content. Me, I cannot do it. You know, I'm just facilitating.
Yeah, then before you lock off, let Mr. Park say something, no man. Give Lydia even 10 minutes, no?
Yes, Lloydie.
All right. My name is Lloyd Parks. I'm started in 1967 at Studio One. Did a single called Have Mercy, Mr. Percy. It went on the top 10. So that decided to do an album called Do the Rock Steady. And well, sad to say.
Lydia, light up your room a little bit more. Because it's a very dark way.
Yeah. You're not hearing me?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you.
Well,
You hear me better now?
Yeah, man.
Hearing you, man. We just want to see a little bit more light in the room.
Yeah, the video. The video.
Okay.
You need to face the light, but it's
it's okay. It's okay still. It's
Well,
okay.
first going to work with this because the ball blow.
Yeah, all right.
The ball blow for them. Yeah, so, you know, and we did this album called Do the Rock Steady. Never gotten a royalties up to this day after 50 years.
Well,
But yeah, we give thanks again, man. We still
Oh,
give
boy.
thanks again for Studio One, you know?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
coming, you know?
we are mafia. We are mafia is my favorite still. You know,
Yeah. Well,
big song. Yeah,
you
man.
know,
Mr. Policeman.
and I've played on a lot of hit records like Barish, you know, the
Yeah.
big Barish, big Bass, that you know, the Barish, you know,
Yes.
and backed a lot of artists over the years, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm here still and give God thanks from that
Yes.
time until this time. But for give God thanks, you know.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So,
Man, can be a son wide awake in a dream for me.
what about tunes for you,
Yeah, man. But that
Barry?
one was in tune.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, you
you know,
know? Yeah,
so
man.
Wide
I'm
awake. And
I'm happy to be a part
Yeah.
of this panel here, and it was very informative.
It's an
You know?
honor. It's an honor,
Learn a
Lloydie.
lot about duets and bars, and you know,
Yeah.
So next time around, I can give you some more information.
What about termites?
Yes, I said next time. We leave it for next time. 'Cause we don't have much
Yeah,
time
man.
now.
Yeah, man. Definitely. You know that
So,
that song go to
Yes,
me. Yeah,
right.
man.
yeah, man.
Yes, for real.
Gentlemen, you guys
Yes.
have a good night.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
baby.
you,
Take
everyone.
care.
All right.
Hey, baby,
It was
next,
a
next time,
pleasure. It was a pleasure.
next
Yeah.
time,
All right, hungry joker.
I
Hungry joker.
know that's
Hey,
a good
Boris.
Jamaican thing now, you know.
Yes.
You forgot warm up. You forgot warm up your dinner.
There, baby,
Eh,
how many Dwight here in Jamaica now?
No, Florida.
Go ahead in
Oh,
Florida.
we get locked down from 12 o'clock today.
That me know. Oh, yeah.
right.
Good thing you at
Can't
home.
leave our place for the whole weekend.
And that me get for year.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
locked
man.
down here
man.
as well too.
And,
Mm.
and
Dwight,
there are
you live
some,
in, you live
no,
in Florida, Dwight?
Boris.
you break
Huh?
the law. It's
You live
some
here
big
in Florida
fine,
now?
No, just visiting.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's
500,000
all
in
right,
fines
in
if you
Florida.
break the law.
Wow.
What about
Yeah,
people have to go to work, Boris?
Well, they have certain things that you can do. But
Essential.
like they catch you without a mask, it's $5,000.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
mm.
I don't know where I'm going to put all them people I'm going to lock up. I just-
I'm not lock them up, man. Them just collect.
like the mask.
I'm not lock them up, man. Them all just collect from them.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you know, thanks to each and everyone. It has been really, you know, joyful, you know, to share this moment with you. And I'm looking forward. I will send, you know, the coming, you know, dates, you know, as a suggestion and see what can work for each and everyone, you know. So definitely that will be done very soon, you know.
This has been an enjoyable afternoon, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Enjoy sitting with the legends here, man.
Respect,
Yeah,
respect,
man. Yeah.
respect.
Really enjoy.
The biggest
Man.
legend is Ryan Millie. We'll meet.
Yeah. But Boris did some stuff for me. He doesn't even remember that. You
I know that. There's so much.
Yeah. So let me ask Lloydie before I go, because we don't know if it's true, because I'm gonna angle, you know, Copeland, you know. So in 2019, when we work with Marcia Griffiths, Copeland said that Lloydie called him. He said the band sound good. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. You know,
True, man. Yeah, man.
that's well appreciated. You know, because you know. When
Yeah.
Copeland tell me that you know, that pleased me very much, because we're trying our best. You
Yeah.
guys are really, you
Yeah,
know, the
man.
great inspiration. You know, like I said with Lloydie, I used to go and spy Lloydie on stage and say, because you know, me as I'm a kind of guitarist of the most. We hide behind our pedals, sound and effect and everything.
Mm.
Wait, where him play, I don't see him use pedals. You know, just him fingers and how him turn his pickups. You know, with you know, certain things. And this is a great inspiration. Thank you.
You're
I'd like to
welcome.
say one thing.
Yeah, man.
Next month,
Everyone.
I'll be releasing a song that Roy Panton wrote 50 or 40 years ago, which I
Wow.
redid.
Endless memory.
Endless Memory will be out next month on the internet.
Yeah.
Definitely. I will take the information so we can post it there. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So for who don't are busy for dinner and everything, we have Dub City Sound System from Copenhagen gonna play all the classics from
Right.
Studio One and Treasure Isle and some of Uno tunes, you know, big tunes them, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
man. Blessing, yeah.
Pick up yourself and respect, you know, until next time.
Right.
Everybody.
Big up.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
No blessings.
Stay safe. Stay
Peace
safe.
and love.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
All right.
Inside.
Until
Bye.
next
Peace and
time.
love.
Oh,
Peace.
Bibi,
Alright.
go eat now, Bibi. Go eat.
Yes. Wow.
All right, baby.
Bless up. Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
man.
Stay safe, my friend.
yes, people, it was really joyful to, to have these great legends. I am definitely, just very touched and moved to see these greats, just, sharing with them and taking the time to bring us where, the real thing happened because they were present into that. So basically, we're doing webinars, ongoing, and this series of Reggae Legend in Conversation will bring, once a month and try to bring some topics, that our viewers would think it's interesting to hear about, that vintage era. So thank you so very much to take the time to see this webinar, Reggae Legend in Conversation Part 3. We'll be back with some information. Take care, one love, Jaliv, respect.